Well, Illusion of Justice, Inside Making a Murderer in America's Broken System is a book written by defense counsel Jerry Buting in the State versus Stephen Avery case. It's a documentary that captured the nation's attention and put a spotlight on that small town in Wisconsin. And he's in Lexington to speak at a Kentucky Public Defenders DPA conference. Kenny?
His book explains the flaws in our criminal justice system, among many other things. Jerry Buting is here to talk about the book, and we welcome him in now.
Good to see you, Jerry.
Jerry, good to see you. Welcome to Kentucky.
Thank you. Good to be here.
First of all, I'm in Twitter jail. I did something weird, and I don't know if Kenny will pay the retainer, whatever it is, but if you could get me out of there, I'd appreciate it.
That takes some real skill. I don't know.
I don't know how to do it. See, there I am. Look at me. Look at me in Twitter jail there, counselor.
I know.
Hashtag free.
We got to do something. First of all, I mean, you guys, I know you had no idea at the time when you were defending Avery about what an impact that would have, because I don't even think Netflix as a platform had even really achieved where it was going, but in a way it was a sea change in the way Americans view programming.
It was. In fact, people forget how quickly things have changed. When the Stephen Avery trial was going on, Blockbuster was the big gorilla in the room, and Netflix was still just mail order. Right. There wasn't even streaming. So in a lot of ways, the technology sort of caught up and created a market for the producers to be able to do something long form like this, which had never been done. Where there's 10 hours, 10 episodes, about 10 hours. I think about 3 hours is actual courtroom testimony footage, and that's really unusual. And most people don't get a chance to see what it's like to be in court. And this documentary gave them sort of a window on that black box that we don't really see.
Have people approached you and mentioned that to you? Because from the movies, and legal movies seem to be always very popular, from 12 Angry Men to Presumed Innocent, whatever the case, the Perry Mason, the
My Cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny, which probably could be one of the more realistic ones from some of the. But have they come up to you and said, I did not realize it was exactly that way, because they're so used to what looks so scripted that it is in the movies and on TV?
Oh, yes. I mean, people are very surprised. And, it's unfair, but defense attorneys have sort of been painted, ever since Perry Mason, defense attorneys have been painted sort of as sleazy, the bad guy in Hollywood scripts. And it's not that way. And Dean and I were just doing our job. There's thousands of other good attorneys like us doing, passionately fighting for our clients. And that was one of the nice things about Making a Murderer, is that people got to see that.
Well, I think it was such an eye-opening moment of American justice, from whether you believe in the innocence or guilt of Stephen Avery, just the burden that a normal citizen, especially one that doesn't have a lot of income, to go against a system that is sort of predetermined their guilt. You talk about a Herculean effort. I mean, if he didn't have you guys, good Lord.
Well, and that's one of the problems. I mean, the other thing you see is the different quality of attorneys you can get. Yeah. And when you get like somebody like Brendan Dassey had, unfortunately, Brendan's experience is very common. You see that every day. And the techniques that are used to question juveniles, and in his case, somebody with mental limitations as well.
That was the most egregious part of that whole trial, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think everybody tells me that. I felt like that. I mean, some people come up to me and say, look, I'm not so sure about Stephen Avery, whether he's innocent or not, but I don't think he got a fair trial. But nobody says that about Brendan.
Right.
There really was no evidence other than his confession, which now is hopefully going to be in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. They'll be deciding, potentially they'll be deciding that as soon as Thursday.
It shows in many ways, I think, that people go in, we all want to certainly believe in this system, and it does work better than anywhere in the world, but it isn't always a case of right and wrong, that you can just go in and say, here's right, here's wrong. At least that's my take on the criminal justice system. Is that a fair assumption?
It's right. It's not like CSI, where there's objective scientific proof that can prove guilt or innocence in every single case. A lot of times there's unanswered questions. It's he said, she said, or he said, and people need to take seriously the processes so that everybody gets a fair shot.
Well, again, you can purchase a copy of Illusion of Justice, Inside Making a Murderer in America's Broken System on Amazon and HarperCollins.com. And he's going to be speaking at the Kentucky Public Defenders DPA conference today.
And actually at Kentucky Theater tonight at 5:30. There's a public event where I'll be signing books.
Jerry, thank you, buddy, for coming in. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll do Bad Wolf Burgers.